all that matters is like the human to human connection. Because at the end of the
Yes,
day, like we all have love inside of us. We all have the like dreams, we all have passions, and those are the things I want to connect with, right?
the meaningful life for me is like we build a connection.
If you're sad, accepting that you're sad. If you're lonely, accepting that you're lonely. Because I think a lot of the stress that comes from that is when people try and change it, when they criticize themselves for being lonely. That's what makes it worse. Welcome back, everyone. This is now the third episode, and I'm here today with a good friend of mine who I met in Vietnam, and her name is Ha Long. We ended up becoming friends and connecting and developing a really strong relationship founded on creativity. When I was living in Vietnam, we kept each other accountable and we shared ideas with each other and we helped each other grow in a lot of ways. And it was a true friendship that I was really appreciative of having because I learned a lot from Ha Long and she also learned a lot from me. I taught Ha Long a little bit about investing. In return, she was teaching me about photography and film and just putting me in situations that helped me grow. And I tried my best to do the same for her. So having such a relationship, in my opinion, is so important and so valuable these days. Without further ado, Ha Long, why don't you share a little bit about yourself and share a little bit about your dreams and your passions and how you ended up pursuing those passions because you left your job to start a business solely on your own. And that's something a lot of people strive to do, but they can't really take that next step.
I really like the introduction. It's
Mhm.
make me can cry now.
Oh.
It's so sweet. So, hello everyone. I will introduce myself a little bit to make it more clear for you. My name is Ha Long. I was born in a small coffee farm in Đắk Lắk, the wild highlands of Vietnam. At that time, I learned to use the internet when I was 15 years old. I am 25 years old now. So for the dream, I wonder a lot about my life. Even every simple things like why yellow is yellow. It's not blue. Who regulates it? Yeah, I start asking more as I got older and questioning about myself, who I am, what do I like, what is my passion, why do people say that life requires a dream? Why I don't like anything? What do I have to do now to find out what I like? Even if I have already chosen something, then I think, am I wrong to have choosing it? I just always asking myself.
Mhm.
I think I am so different from everyone that I grow up without dreams. Many people will want to be an engineer, a doctor, a teacher, but myself at that time thinking about my dream of becoming someone. I did not understand what I live for. When I was a student, I thought I was normal in everything, not outstanding in any particular aspect. But then my sister was the one who encouraged me. I have a talent for drawing, and so I tried to get into the university where the person I like was studying there. It sounds funny, but love is my strength. Then the person I love left me.
Oh no.
Yeah, I start to lost my way, not
Mhm.
knowing who I was, what I should do. I didn't stop searching for myself. I thought at that time, I'm nobody. I don't have much interest in anything. I don't like anything. So I have to try. I tried a lot different things. I participate in many activities to find out if I like it or not. At every moment in my life, I have different dreams and goals. And when
Mhm.
I was 20 years old, I wrote down in the notebook who I want to be in 5 years. I began to write down in detail what I want to achieve in the short term. I wrote down my career and development goals, I will build my design company. And the second one is like become a art director in a big company. The third is like team leader with good skills.
Mhm.
And then I write out graphic design, illustration, web design, good at the software like AI, PT, like Photoshop, HTML, CSS. the last one I wrote down is like practice skill every day. And I have write down other goals like soft skill too, like how I talk with people and how I act. So that was me 5 years ago. And 5 years later, I look back, I did it.
Mm.
But at that time, I wrote too many goals. And now I find that to specialize in something requires more investment.
Mhm.
So after 5 years, I write my plan again. And I think now I will write better plan for what I want to be, because
Yeah.
like for now, like I want to grow my company. The product is known by many people, and deeper understanding of my profession and how to build my philosophies of life, because it's been a journey of self-discovery. And I
Definitely.
think I don't want to limit myself to any one framework, because I wake up, I do my own thing,
Mm.
be with the people I love,
Mm.
can do something to help others,
Yeah.
and be creative. I know that in life there are always happy and sad, negative and positive, and I take them on in.
Probably one of the attributes I like most about you, and the fact that you're able to be positive in almost every situation and realistic.
I just like I am a observer,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
observer of myself in
Mm.
on the situation like present to me.
My biggest question for you is like, where did this come from? Because you came, as you said, from a relationship where, by the sounds of it, you were in love with that person and your life was revolving around that person. And now it's like the total opposite. Your life solely revolves around yourself. So, what inspired you to all of a sudden make this change? Because a lot of people would stay the same, right?
Well, I think every people will say how you need to love yourself, you love yourself, but they don't know why we have to love ourselves. Like
Mm.
for me, like to love other people, you have to love yourself. When you understand yourself, it
Mhm.
will be better for you to know how to act and how to express yourself and how to love one person. Before I was like chasing for love, but then it's not a healthy relationship. To understand myself is really important thing. Then you can love another people with the way they are.
Mm.
For me now, love is just like like accept everything from that person, to be with them, support them, understand them, love them all. How to love
Mm.
all of them, like they have bad things, they have good things, be supportive and communicate with them.
When it comes to love, like, where would you draw the line? Because you're mentioning all these things about acceptance,
Mm.
but is there anything that is unacceptable?
I think for now, before in love, I when I enter in a relationship, I want this person to be like this. I expect them to do something for me. I
Yeah.
want them to change for me. I
Mhm.
want them to do this, that. But
Mhm.
actually it's not right. For now, when I enter in a relationship, I don't want change anything from that person. I will talk to them. I like you to be like this, like that, because I think it will be better for you or better for me. I like this more, but like I don't want to change them. If they need help to make them better person, I will be there. If I can, I will do it. But
Mhm.
for changing somebody, I think that I won't do anything to change anybody. You
Mm.
have to do this, you have to do that, because it's in my expectation. No,
Mhm.
I don't have any expectation in any relationship for now.
Mm.
It's just like let it be. And when I choose somebody to love, I think that person will can understand me, and we have the same vision and same direction, and can listen to each other
Yeah.
and understand each other more.
It's such a mature way of looking at love.
With the coffee, people really, I like this, I like cappuccino, I like something really dark, but every people always have something in their mind that they like this or they don't like this. What I can do is make the best raw materials, improve in the way that I make the coffee, improve in the way how I grow it. For love is it the same. To build the foundation for the love, it like that. To understand, to can connect with the person, chemical, physical.
Because that's what the definition of like an independent relationship is where each person has those raw materials and they have that self-love. They are able to share it without chasing and without needing the other person to give them validation that
Yes.
they are a good person. It's already there. That kind of love is the most healthy.
I think
Yeah.
so. Somehow it's like when you don't like something in that person, sit down with to talk about that, have a
Mm.
real conversation. It's really not healthy that you just hold it and just think in your way without asking that question.
So when it comes to self-love, how can someone love themselves?
It depends on the person because lately I talked to some of my friends that in depression. I just realized that to love ourselves is really it's not easy. I think the important part is like you learn from what you did, even if it's a failure or even if it's success. You have to learn and get your lesson from that.
What's your strategy for finding a way to become better at it?
For where I have been a lot of thing in my life, just always don't want to talk about that. I cannot deal with that. I just angry. I know that I'm sad, but I don't know how to deal with that. I just do some other thing to distract the sadness. Now is sit down with myself. Why I am sad right now? Where the sad come from? The question is like to solve the problem, how
Mm.
to make it better. I learning in my life. I have a lot of failures, so it helped me to know more how to solve the problem when I
Mm.
face it already. But that is the bumpy way. Take a lot of energy. Try to learn from others.
Do you think a relationship is necessary for someone to like really understand self-love?
Life is the connection of everything: the nature, the soil, the fruit that we have that give us something, and then we have to invest back in the soil, and the soil will invest in the tree, and the tree will invest in the fruit, and the fruit will invest in earth, and then it's like a circle. The meaningful life for me is like we build the connection, we give the meaning for what we like, for what we care about. For me, I have the friend. He like his name is Snow, and he's the tree in my room. And sometimes I can talk with him also. But
Yeah.
people would say it's weird, but I give the meaning for the tree. It have the name. It stand there. It's what means every day. It's like no limit for any relationship in life. Even like my relationship with a tree, my relationship with the nature, my relationship with friend, with my family, with the loved one is really important for helping people achieve more in life.
Yeah, it makes people more aware of what's around them and they're able to actually value what's around them because people miss things so easily. Like you can buy a tree, but then forget about it and it dies, right?
Yeah, it is really important to have relationship with the everything, like relationship with the oxygen with our body. It's also a relationship. We have everything needs everything to survive. Like
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
even like somebody will say, okay, I'm too strong, I'm so strong, I can live by myself, I don't need anybody. But then somehow they will still need something to live.
No, they've done a lot of research on this actually, and how if you talk to a tree and you say a lot of positive things, it grows faster. And they also found that trees communicate to each other
Mm.
and that the trees know when other trees die nearby. There's a lot more connections, as you were saying, that I think are going on and that people don't even realize. Like you can tell just based off the environment. And I'm not sure if you ever heard of blue zones.
Yeah, I know.
You know
Yep,
blue zones, like
yep,
places around the world where the
yep,
energy is stronger and people are more positive.
yes,
Yeah, so that ties nicely into the concept of connection. But
yes,
yeah, when
yeah.
it comes to like self-love and stuff, which we're going to
Mm.
try and focus on,
With-
the idea of becoming more connected is
Yes.
most certainly necessary for someone to understand what's around them. And that involves present moment, like just, not being too absorbed in your thoughts and just
Mm.
focusing what's in the room. and appreciating what's in the room and just being grateful. Like you said, accepting your situation. If you're sad, accepting that you're sad. If you're lonely, accepting that you're lonely. Because I think a lot of the stress that comes from that is when people try and change it, when they criticize themselves for being lonely. And I think that's what makes it worse. Like, oh, I'm sad, this sucks. And then they get stuck in like a thought pattern where they think something is responsible for the way they feel. Like, I'm sad because I'm not in a relationship. I'm lonely because nobody cares about me. So they put a label on the reason why
Yes, I think so.
instead of just saying, why am I lonely? Where is this coming from? Oh, I'm lonely because I am not talking to anybody and
Yeah.
I'm not pursuing my passion. I'm not singing, I'm not dancing, I'm not doing what I love. That's why I'm lonely. Other things that you can tie into that are like your diet. So like the food you eat causes stress, which can influence your emotions. That comes with a lot of research and a lot of understanding about yourself and your daily routine. You have a good routine that keeps you organized. In that routine, do you factor in your emotions?
I live for solving problem. Life is always through a lot of shit to me. How can I deal with that? I will solve the problem one by one,
Yeah.
and I should have the plan how to do that. I will write down my plan how to solve this problem. In the plan, I will write out in the detail what should I do, break in the day, what should I do in the day, and in this time, what should I do, what should I need to priority in my time to do this or that. It's
Yeah.
really important to finish what I already want to do.
My issue is that I'll reach burnout.
You have to have your personal plan that fit your routine, your need in your life. Sometimes I have a lot of work I need to do, but sometimes I don't have anything to do. I just plan how to do is balance to my body, have the time to rest so I can gain more energy. We are not robot. So
Yeah. We can't just go all the
yes,
time.
you need to understand your system, your health. You can take time to do what you want to do or helping
Mm.
others to do something. Now I have the power to understand this. I have the power to do this. I have the skill to survive. But for a lot of people, they may not lucky like me. I want to do something that I'm sharing my knowledge. I can sharing what I learned, and I think that it is good for them. I want to be a coach. I want
You
to
should.
help people
I
somehow.
think you'd be very good at it.
I think it's a good way to learn more. It's like teaching. When you
Yes.
teach
Yes.
something, you have to prepare it really carefully, and you have to check the information and everything.
The biggest things beyond preparing is experience. Just
Yeah,
putting yourself, like you said earlier, failing, because you can prepare all you want, but
yeah.
in most cases, it's not going to happen.
I was like a teacher for the kid in the pagoda. I think it's really hard to get the information. When my mom come back and she on the whiteboard and she blah 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 and she starts talking and I say, wow, it's not something that we cannot do in one day or like
Yeah.
2 day. It needs a lot of skill,
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. It requires
That
a lot of balance because you have to understand like each individual student, and you
mm,
have to like there's a lot of strategies that you can use, like putting certain students with other students,
mhm.
and all the students learn differently as well. So you have to, when you teach, you have to make sure that you are helping each student learn in the best way possible
Yeah,
by
yeah,
changing the lesson. Like for instance, if you are like a creative person, so if you were my student, I'd make all your work about drawing, and I would
yeah.
try and focus on trying to teach you through drawing.
I think I really like it. Like when Vietnam in the lockdown, it's really long lockdown for now, and I was like go to my Facebook and go to my social, and I just see a lot of people just like depressing. They are really in the bad mood, and like a lot of my friend also message me, hey, I'm really sad, and I was like, okay, I want to tell them that how you can do this, do that, or you can think in a different way, but it's really hard for me to help them, because like I haven't had the experience to helping people like that. So I was like, oh, I should enter the course that how to teaching people how to be a therapist or something. And I was,
Yeah,
it's like a different person have a different perspective in the same
yeah,
situations. Like
yeah.
some people are like positive, some people are like negative. Like they have different thinking and different lifestyle. So it's just like need to adapt it uh,
Mm, yeah.
to whatever the life situation threw at us.
Coronavirus is good in a way because it helps you see that for what it is and see how it's not as important or as big as you think you realized.
Yeah,
Because when break it down, nobody's really judging you. In most cases, they're just judging themselves, and people just get so stressed about that.
I think it's like come back to the problem that we have to love ourselves. When we love ourselves enough, we don't compare ourselves with any other people and even talk bad about another people either, because we respect their life, what they are doing, what they achieve. We should like happy for them. I think it's like important to surround by the people who understand us, who understand who we are and what we want to do, and also what is our limit and how we enjoy the life. You know yourself and you choose what is the best for you, and it's not like being rude to another people or something. We just like uh, sharing and get people to understand us. They also happy if we share, like
Yeah.
being nice to people, but also not being bad to ourselves. We always think that we don't like to do, but we have to do it anyway. Like in the process, it will always have something that we like or we don't like, but we still have to do it because the big results come after that. People don't like to go to the gym because it's tired, and I don't want to get pain, but I also want the sick back. So I have to know what is the process of everything is. Life is like what we choose to do. It is really important. Every moment in your life, you choose to do something. Lucky that I like to talk with you and I'm being here. I'm not being nice. We have to choose every moment in our life what to do, what to say.
Just based off what I was hearing from you, it comes down to doing what's best to create the better version of yourself. Because you're going to have points where you're going to have different ways of seeing things. Some of these connections, like when you think about it, like when it comes to politics or culture and stuff, like, oh, it's not really like, yeah, it's important towards understanding somebody. But like when it comes to the small things, like whether or not somebody drinks or whether or not someone's vegan, what religion they believe in, none of it matters. All that matters is like the human to human connection. Because at the end of the
Yes.
day, like we all have love inside of us. We all have the like dreams, we all have passions, and those are the things I want to connect with.
Yeah, at some point in our lives, like we must all step back and question the values that we were raised with and ask ourselves if those values are serving us. So just choose how to start the conversation to find something that similar. Yeah, like for me, like I cannot say like, okay, my thinking is nice, my thoughts is good, my thoughts is right. I believe in my philosophy. I believe I choose what is right and uh, what I should value in my
Yeah.
life. Because human understanding is limit. We must be careful about what we choose to accept as truth. Because like when you say something, marketing something, it's it's easy to let people understand that and believe that it is true. That is the problem of advertising.
Because at this
Yeah.
point, in order for society to really develop and improve, we need to be more authentic and we need to advertise that in a way that makes it best for people to grow. When it comes to that idea, the concept of healthy relationships in schools, I'm like learning how to develop healthy relationships, learning how to understand love, learning how to meditate, learning how to follow your dreams, learning how to follow your passion going forward. I think that's what society really needs to focus on if we're going to make that next step.
Yeah,
Hmm.
a lot of things is happen, but people don't know how. Nobody teaching us We just learn it by ourselves, by experience, even how to invest in
Yeah.
time, invest in money, in how the economic is.
When I open it, I'll let you know.
Okay,
So you can
let
be
me
my
be a
first student.
student.
Definitely.
Yeah, so thank
Well,
you.
that was perfect, how long I really enjoyed this conversation. I was pretty satisfied with where we went, and I don't know, it's so good to hear someone like you like following their dreams and following their passions, and I'm just so happy for you, and
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you. Thank you to invite me